Hey, it's Josh. Okay, so as the title says, we're going to talk about three things. First, we're going to talk about taping your plugs. Second thing we're going to talk about is piercing aftercare. And the third thing we're going to talk about is blowouts. But before we get started with all that, I have a few life updates. This is my channel. I'm allowed to talk about myself. So for my last update, a lot has changed actually with my ear progress. And in fact, it's not much progress, it's quite the opposite. As you can see, that's not really a 3/4, that's actually a 7/16. Now, how this happened was it was crusty and it still had a bad blowout on the back and it wasn't doing much better. And when I pulled on it, there was a bunch of ear gaps, so I figured there was no way this thing is going to shrink. So I took it out for a few hours and it shrunk. So then I put a 9/16 in and it still had ear gap. So I figured I'd take it out some more. And then it shrunk a lot. And now it is at 7/16. And I got a haircut. I've had a haircut. I have a mullet. And I took my cheek piercings out. So now I have like dimples. The only problem I had, and the reason I took them out, is because I had keloids forming on the outside and the inside of my mouth. So I took them out, I've been taking good care of them, and they've really shrunken down over the last few days. So obviously the first thing you're going to need for taping is tape. Just to clarify, don't use electrical tape, duct tape, any of that bad crap. It's really bad for you. Don't use it. Scotch tape, household tape, packing tape, none of it. Use PTFE Teflon tape. It's non-porous, so your skin can adhere to it and it won't grow onto it, so it keeps your ear nice and healthy and you're all good to go. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to cut off a piece of tape like this, and you're going to take your plug or tunnel and then you're going to stick it on there like that and pull tight with your finger still on the first end and just wrap it until it comes around and overlaps the first piece, and then from then on you shouldn't have to hold it anymore. It should stay in place, and then you just wrap it as much as you want. So generally you should wrap it 2 times every time you wrap, and it should be every 2 to 3 days. So once you have your tape body jewelry, you just stick it in your ear. That's pretty simple. The next few things, probably not. So piercing aftercare. Now this is a big debate and everybody will tell you something different. Shops tell you different things, YouTube tells you different things, the internet, Google, whatever. What I personally use and have found to work the best are all the things I'm about to talk about. So first things first, anytime you have a cut, wound, or dirty hands, use soap. Now, you can use whatever soap you have. I don't know what this is. I just had it lying around. But preferably you should use antibacterial soap. Now, people in shops will tell you to use something called microbacterial soap, but I don't like the stuff. It dries out my skin, and I've heard that it can cause scar tissue. Now, the reason they tell you to use microbacterial soap and not antibacterial soap is because they say that your body can become immune to the antibacterial soap's effects after 2 weeks. Now, I don't know. It's never happened to me. It's always stayed working, so it's up in the air. But I use antibacterial, and it works. Now, the second step is sea salt soak. Now, this is some good shit. Really helps with the healing process, I found, and just overall a great thing to do. So I have this, which comes with a grinder, and it's sea salt. You never want to use table salt. It doesn't work. So you can buy it at Walmart, any grocery store. Just buy sea salt in a tub, whatever. What you're going to do is you're going to fill up a little thing like this. Now, you can use shot glasses if you don't have a sauce cup like this. You're going to cover the bottom of your container with a good layer of sea salt, and then you're going to fill it with hot water, mix it up, and apply it to whatever piercing you need healing. Be it your ear, your nose, anything really. Now, if you have oral piercings, there's a slightly different route you need to take. First off, you're going to need to brush your teeth. Now, I recommend brushing after every meal, but some people are lazy and you don't have to do that. I've just found it works best for me. After that, you're going to need to pick up yourself some Biotine mouthwash. Now, the great thing about Biotine is that it is a common non-alcoholic mouthwash. So if you have Listerine, any type of that stuff, some generic Listerine, anything with alcohol, throw it out. It's not going to do you any good. You're going to need a non-alcoholic mouthwash. Now, this stuff is a little bit more pricey than your average Listerine, but it works a lot better. Now, you're still going to need to use soap on the exterior of your piercing. Now, for all piercings, even though I've mentioned the sea salt soak, I would still recommend picking up some H2 Ocean because it's just an overall great product. It really helps with the healing process, and it's more easy to apply to areas where it may not be easy to stick a cup to your face. Now, the next thing that we're going to talk about, and the huge controversial thing in the body modification world, is blowouts. Whether you're stretching your ears, your nose, your mouth, anything, you're bound to get a blowout. Everybody's going to get one somewhere along the line. Even though you can take great care of yourself, you're going to make a mistake. It's just human nature. Now, once you have made that mistake, it's not something to really worry about too much. They can be pretty nasty, but most of the time, if you take good care of it, your body will bounce back. Now, for a blowout, what you're going to need to do, and I know it sucks, but you're going to need to downsize, at least a size or two. So the first thing you're going to do is pick up some jojoba oil and massage your ears for a good 30 minutes a night. You can pick this up at like GNC or any real vitamin store for about $10. So there's a lot of different ways people say you can work around a blowout, but my biggest way to fix a blowout that I've used myself is to downsize and tuck in, not your penis. Say this is your stretched ear hole, and this is your downsized plug. So what you're going to want to do is you have all this extra space from downsizing, and say your blowout is sticking right out here on the back. So what you're going to want to do with that excess skin is you're going to want to take it and push it in between the plug and your ear. In that big gap, you're going to stick it and fold it and get it all up in there. Now you should probably keep this up as a daily routine for at least a few weeks before even thinking about stretching back up to the size you were at. Alright guys, well I hope this helps. I'll try to make a new video soon, and I'll talk to you later.